1740, the Rooswijk, a Dutch East Indiaman, was outward bound from Holland. Fully laden with silver ingots, coins and general cargo, she was lost in a storm with all hands and was driven onto the treacherous Goodwin Sands, known to mariners as the Great Ship Swallower. The Cultural Heritage Agency of the Netherlands worked with Historic England to undertake the project, and Mark James is overseeing the survey and commercial diving operation on this protected site.
The wreck of the Rooswijk was found by a local diver, Ken Welling, who spent a number of years in the archives and undertaking magnetometer survey and diving targets on the Goodwin Sands to try and find this wreck. He eventually located it and dived it and understood what he had on the seabed here. It's without divers like Ken, the majority of these protected wreck sites would not be found.
As Britain was an important maritime trading country, wrecks of ships from many other nations could be found around the coast.
The Rooswijk is part of our shared cultural heritage with Europe. It is a Dutch vessel that sank in English waters, so there's responsibilities for the Dutch to manage the site and for the English to manage the site as well. From 2016 to 2018, I've been managing the UK side of the excavation project on the Rooswijk, from working on a smaller vessel undertaking a pre-excavation assessment right the way through to 2017-2018, where we worked on 2 different vessels. It's been a large-scale project involving divers from both the UK and the Netherlands.
Excavating a shipwreck 3 miles offshore in strong currents and limited visibility is taking maritime archaeology to another level of complexity.
The excavation of the Rooswijk was primarily undertaken by a large-scale professional archaeological team, and some of this had to do with the diving techniques that we needed to use on site. However, we're very conscious that sites such as these can present wonderful opportunities for volunteers to get involved. So we ran open days on the site where we encouraged divers to come and see what we were doing and how the project was working. We built in volunteering opportunities back at our shoreside conservation facility, and even in the post-excavation conservation side of the project, we have volunteers continuing to work and help conserve the artefacts for us. My role overseeing the diving operations on the Rooswijk project has meant that I've been on the vessel at all times. And when we see some of these phenomenal artefacts come to the surface for the first time since the ship has sunk, it's an experience that can't be beat.
The uncovering of these objects, dating back nearly 300 years, provides valuable insights into how the crew lived and worked.
I just come back from my 3rd dive on the Rooswijk, and there I excavated this beautiful light, and at first all I could find was the bottom part, and I didn't know what it was, so I started excavating slowly around it, excavating more and more, and then it turned out that it was not going in too deep in the sand, and I flipped it over underwater and could see this beautiful light. And when I got back to the surface, showed it to the other archaeologist, and they then showed me this handle, and it fitted perfectly. So beautiful light.